How's it going, everybody? Chris Card's back through the mail. Monday 9 returns for you today. 9, I think, is a record. We've got our first one here from Boston, Massachusetts, with a little bit of tape on the back of it. And we've got Mr. Wilbur Wood on a 74 Topps Chicago White Sox team card. 17-year career, spent 12 of those years with the White Sox. Yes, I sent 3 74 Topps Chicago White Sox team cards, as well as getting 2 of 3 for the 72 Topps pitching leaders card. Cannot, of course, get Vida Blue, but I think I have that completed already with Vida, Wilbur, and Mickey Lolich. I wasn't going to get this sent off to get Wilbur Wood, but it was just $5, so I said, well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Lolich was the expensive one. He's $20 a signature, so I figured I might as well at least spend the extra 5 and get Wilbur Wood. And while I had these 3 Chicago White Sox team cards, I figured I'd get all 3 of them signed for a total of $20. $5 a card. Of course, I'll send those White Sox team cards out to other members of the White Sox, put them in my 74 Topps autographed set binder, and like I said, I'm going to redo the pages and basically have 2 or 3 team cards for each team. Of course, in case I lose one in the mail or I don't get one back, I figured 3 is a pretty safe bet, and I'll get them sent off to other White Sox players from 73, 74 team, and hopefully I'll get them back and it'll look pretty sweet. So anyway, that's my thought process for those out there thinking that's kind of weird. But next one's from Charleston, South Carolina. Looks like with some answered questions. Let's see if the card is in here somewhere. And it is. We got Ty Klein on a 1978 TCMA card. Very nice. 12-year career. Spent most of those with the Atlanta Braves. Answered some questions. Let's check these out real quick. Find out what he has to say. What do you think of the new rule changes? Like the speed of game now. Who was your favorite teammate? He said Joe Torre. He gets 20 to 30 autograph requests a week. Nothing really bothers him, and he is still a Braves fan. And, of course, he played for the Braves. Spent 5 years with Atlanta, and then for the other 7 years of his career with 5 different teams. Ty Klein, I was going through my TTM box, the C's, and I saw Ty Klein, and he just had one little card in there, and it was $5 a card for him now. I did get him a while back for free. I think I got 3 or 4 cards signed for free. I had this one card in my TTM box, and I hate seeing cards in my TTM box. I want to send them all out, so I figured for $5. This is a nice, clean card. Really do like the TCMA design from the 70s. Nice and clean, pretty, just basically a photo. And yeah, it looks great. His autograph looks great for 84 years old. Thank you very much, Ty. Let's move on to return number 3. All right, guys, return number 3 is from Reno, Nevada, with a return address of it from Rick Kester. Rick Kester, who played 21 games for the Braves in 1968, 69, and 70, was a reliever for them. And here we go. Looks like he might have answered some questions, or at least sent them back. Hopefully answered. Rick Kester. Terry Titus, another vintage combo card signed. Him and Ralph Garr. And here's a 72 Topps Rookie Stars card. Of course, I can get that signed by Britton as well as Tom House. So race against time to get that sent off to those other 2 players before anything terrible happens to them, which is why I think you see a lot of guys trying to get these combo cards finished off. Rick Kester, nice return from him. Another Brave. How about that? Let's see what these questions answered say. I still think these are still my default questions. I didn't switch them up, I don't think. What do you think of the new rule changes in MLB? He said, I like them. The game got way too slow. I agree with that. These changes have enhanced the game as it had developed. Yes, that's true. Who was your favorite teammate? Dusty Baker. And it looks like he said Larry Jester, I guess. Correct me if I'm wrong. How many autographs requests do you typically receive each week or month? He said 3 per week. That's pretty good. He didn't have many cards. Is there something out there you would like those that request autographs to know? Pet peeves, annoyances? He said, even though my career ended prematurely due to a shoulder injury, I am eternally grateful for the great life experience. No annoyances, he said. You guys can try to figure out what the rest of that is. Do you still follow the game? Yes, he does. He Braves and Dodgers. He still flies to L.A. To watch UCLA baseball. Thank you so much for your time. Wishing you a great 2024. And he autographed it for me, and I forgot to sign it to him, but I usually try to sign those. Sometimes I forget, but really great return by Rick Kester. There's information. Got a P.O. box all set for those TTMs. He apparently loves them. He loves the questions as well. And if you saw, he did inscribe his Major League Baseball debut date on that rookie card, and that is the plan for the other two guys to sign that card and also put their debut dates on there. And hopefully they follow suit with Rick Kester and put it right underneath their names like he did. It's going to look really cool when it's done. Nice to get that 71 Topps card signed as well. Let's move on, guys, to return number 4. All right, friends, Sacramento, California, moving right along. Trying not to be too wordy because I know there's a bunch of returns here today. We've got Fred Brining, an 84 Topps card. Fred Brining, 5-year career, 4 with the Gigantes, and he was traded, as you see the traded card, to the Expos. Unfortunately, his 4th game with the Expos, Ray Knight hit a bunt off him. Do you hit a bunt or do you bunt the ball? He hit a bunt. That doesn't sound right. Ray Knight bunted the ball back to Fred Brining, and he threw his shoulder out, throwing him out at first base. Fred never played another game in his entire career. 4 games into his Expos career after being traded over there from the Giants. Spent 4 good years with the Giants. Very good winning record. Mid-3s ERA. Awesome signer. Nice to get this back from Mr. Fred Brining. Nice little return from him. Looks like I asked him to inscribe his Major League debut date on the 84 Topps traded card. It should actually be on his Giants card because that's actually the team he made his debut for. Either way, he didn't inscribe anything. Maybe he knew because it was the wrong team to inscribe on. Maybe, I guess he could have thought outside the box maybe, and But hey, I'm not going to let other people try to figure out my mistakes. It was clearly my mistake. I should have put the inscription request on the base set traded card, or the base set Giants card. So it is what it is. I'm not perfect, as you guys attest to on a weekly basis. Thankfully, most of you still watch. Thank you very much. Let's move on to our next return. Medford, Oregon, our next return. Awesome. Not many from my home state. Glad to get this one back. Local. Actually, I know who this is. It's going to be pitcher Bob Johnson. Bob Johnson, who was on the Mets in 1969 for 2 games. Technically a World Series champion that year, if you go by today's standards. But more impressively, his best season came in 71 with the Pirates, he spent 3 of his 7 years with the Pirates. And, of course, they won it all in 1971. And also that was his best year as a starter for them. Mr. Bob Johnson lives down there in Cave Junction, Oregon, which is basically Northern California. It's way down there. It's about an hour off of I-5. As you're going through Medford, you gotta head west towards the coast, towards Brookings, and you'll be halfway between the ocean and I-5, and you'll come to Cave Junction, Oregon. There's his information. Bob Johnson signed very nicely on a 72 Topps card. Very nice to get this return back from him. Did send him questions. He did not answer my questions. Bummer. I did inquire about the weather and some of the ice storms we've been having, but Bob Johnson signed my cards and sent them back, and that was that. Nice return from him. Let's move on to our next return. Our next return is from the City of Angels, and it's going to be John Robb, as he put his name on the return address. Of course, just his name. That's probably not going to find its way back to him if it gets lost in the mail, but either way, it made its way to me. Very nice to get this 84 Topps card signed for the set from Mr. John Robb. Spent most of his career as a San Francisco Giant, 3 of his 5 years in the bigs as a Giant. They drafted him in the 78 draft in the 11th round. Spent a year with Seattle. Also, of course, a year with the Braves. Why not? Everyone here has been on the Braves at one time or another. I did ask for an inscription on the 84 Topps card. Of course, I did not get it. I am of the school of if you don't ask, you don't get. So I'd rather ask and not get it than not ask and never get it. So it doesn't matter. 2 signed cards from John Robb. Very nice return from him. Let's move on, guys. Next return. Moving right along, Tampa St. Pete. Let's head to the southeast. And we've got Phil Bradley. Phil Bradley signed an 89 Upper Deck card for me. Phil Bradley, 87 Topps card, inscribed with his, I think, 85 All-Star inscription. He was an All-Star in 85. Very nice return from Mr. Phil Bradley. Used to be with Past Pros. Not with Past Pros anymore, or maybe he is, but he signed these 3 cards for $5. So if you send him a couple of bucks and a couple cards, you'll usually get a success from Mr. Phil Bradley. Maybe for free, but I wasn't taking any chances, and I wanted to get an inscription. So well worth the $5 from me. There's the information. Like I said, 80 years in the bigs. 5 of those with Seattle. 85 All-Star, as I mentioned. He was Roger Clemens' 20th strikeout victim in 1986, as Roger, of course, went on to set a Major League record of 20 strikeouts in one game. Of course, he would go on to match that record a few years later. And that would also be tied by Max Scherzer and Kerry Wood in subsequent years. Yes, that's right. Roger Clemens, former Savannah Banana, Roger Clemens. Very nice return from Mr. Phil Bradley. All three of these cards signed very nicely for the set. 89 high number, 89 base, and 87 tops. Nice to get those cards signed. Of course, I've been busy the last week or so I didn't get a set update this weekend. I'll try to get a setup update this coming weekend. Of course, 74 tops, 84 tops, 87 tops, and 89 upper deck are the sets I chase autographs on, in case anyone is wondering why I get so many of those cards back. That is why. Let's move on, guys, to our next return. All right, back to the West Coast, Santa Clarita, California. And let's find out who I've lost track. I have no idea how many returns this is, but we got some questions back from this guy. Very nice. And he answered them from the looks of it. We got Jim Colburn on a 75 tops card signed beautifully. Jim Colburn, nice little 10-year career. Most of those with the Brewers. In fact, he's on the Brewers Wall of Fame. I guess he's not in the Wall of Fame. He's on the Wall of Fame since it's an actual wall, I suppose. Anybody from Milwaukee can confirm it's a wall. He is on the Wall of Fame for the Brew Crew. Hit a no-hitter. He actually pitched a no-hitter in 1977 for the Brewers, and of course he inscribed the 78 tops card with that. Let's go ahead and answer these questions. He likes them except for the ban on shifts. He doesn't like the new rules. He likes new rules except for the ban on shifts. Robin Yount, his favorite teammate. There's a name drop for you. About one per day on average, or more. Okay. Let's see what he... pet peeves. I don't do one every day, so they stack up. It takes time just to autograph the 3 or 4 that are sent. So when I have to give a written reply, it takes even more concentration. I don't always have the patience. Sorry, Mr. Colburn. Do you still follow the game of baseball? Is there a team you root for? He says yes. Dodgers, Mariners, and Rangers. And that is it. Nice return from Mr. Jim Colburn. Inscribed the 70 tops card very nicely, as well as answered my questions against his will, from the sounds of it. Nice return from him. Regardless, we've got one more return to go. Let's just let's get right to it. Last but not least, from Greensboro, North Carolina. 9 is tough, guys. This is why I don't do all the returns I get. We'll be here literally all day. And we got Bob Patterson on here. Bob Patterson, who pitched for 13 years in the big leagues, mostly a middle reliever for the Pirates, 6 years with the Pirates, 3 years with the Cubs. And we've got the Bible inscriptions on all of these cards. 6 cards I sent him, 6 cards he signed nicely. 92 tops, some Stadium Club in there for a good measure, a Fleer card. Why not? Let's just mix it up with as many random cards as we can get. There's an upper deck as well. Mr. Bob Patterson, known affectionately in the bigs as the Glove Doctor, because he would repair gloves while sitting out there in the bullpen. Didn't matter which team, either the visiting team or his own teammates, he would always be fixing gloves for whatever reason he had a knack for. And he spent 13 years in the bigs pitching pretty well, and I guess doing some pro bono repair work on the side as the Glove Doctor. I guess I could have had him inscribe the Glove Doctor as well as, one of his Bible inscriptions. So nice return from Mr. Bob Patterson. Some not vintage to finish off this week's Through the Mail Monday. This is about as modern as it gets for Chris Cards. Nice to get these cards signed. I had, of course, 6 of those sitting in my TTM box, and now they are in my signed box for 2024. That is it, guys. 9 returns. Now you see why I don't do 9, 10, 15 returns. I got 12 returns last week. I did 9 of them, so if I did 12, I got to pause and take a drink of water. My voice is getting hoarse. It's not easy unless I do more than one video a week. I'm kind of shoehorned into having them build up, and having a card like the Vida Blue, a Mickey Lolich, and Wilbur Wood card sit around in an envelope somewhere. I might need to get one more on that. I know I got Vida Blue. I might need to get Wilbur Wood on it, actually. Wilbur Wood, I'm going to try to explain because I forgot to mention it. Wilbur Wood doesn't charge. He'll sign a couple cards for you for free, but he will put an inscription on it. He will personalize it to you. He will put your entire name on the card in big letters. It's actually kind of hilarious. In fact, I kind of want a big, big inscription from Wilbur Wood. But if you pay the guy $5 a card, he just signs his name. And of course, as you saw on my card, he also included an inscription that I asked for. So forgot to mention that about Wilbur Wood. So he doesn't charge If you don't mind personalizations, comically large personalizations, that is your man for free. If you want to get the card signed like I did, including the team cards, that's going to be $5 a piece, and that's not much to pay for. Pretty dang good pitcher back in his day. So there you guys go. Through the mail money number 269. Giggity. Nice to get this one done. 270 next week. I'm 30 weeks away from 300. It seems like it's right around the corner, but that's like almost half a year, more than half a year away. So not really that close to 300, but these weeks move slowly. And of course, I did spend last week in Austin, had a great trip. This video is already long enough. Maybe I'll spend a little more time next week talking about my trip to South by Southwest and of course the movie premiere. In fact, I'll take a photo of the physical hard copy ticket I got, me and my wife got. Of course, I put mine in a card saver that I had in my pocket along with a Sharpie. My wife crumpled it up and put it in her wallet, and well, that's hers right there. I made it nice again, but she's like, what, do you want me to save it? I'm like, yeah, I want you to save it. It's a souvenir. Why would you crumple it up like that? Anyway, I got one nice copy. I didn't get any signatures at the after party. The 4 of the actors were there. These are the 4 actors that were there on the red carpet, as well as yours truly and my adorable wife. We had a great time there. Texas was great. The movie was great. It's got great reviews. It's called My Dead Friend Zoe. And very good dramedy, as they call it nowadays. And, of course, really good reviews so far from the critics. And being one of the very first people to watch it. In fact, being the very first person to watch it, aside from, the directors and the editor and all that stuff. Very awesome. South by Southwest was really cool. Texas was really cool. We hit up Austin. We went to Galveston. We spent the night in Houston. We did San Antonio. We did the Riverwalk there. We also did the Alamo as well. We did a self-guided tour of the Alamo because we were late and missed our guided tour, so that was a bummer. But we spent quite a few hours in the Alamo checking that out. Big history buffs, of course. Did not get any autographs. The actors and stuff were there in the after party, and it was it would have been awkward, so I didn't do it. I should have done it. Who cares, right? They're never going to see me again, but I didn't want to be that guy, so whatever. Maybe they'll do TTM. I'll keep an eye on their names and see if they do TTM. I might try to get the ticket stub signed. Or I might send my wife's crumpled ticket stub, just because if I lose it, I'm not going to be too brokenhearted about it. But anyway, very cool experience for us. It was awesome watching the movie and looking around the theater and noticing people in the movie, watching the movie. Very surreal, very weird. This one guy in the movie is like 6'4". And he stuck out like a sore thumb, and he's in a scene sitting down. Like, that guy's huge, and I see center of the theater to the left a little bit, and there he is. I'm like, Lord, that's him. And then there's this Asian guy who's also in the movie, and he's sitting right next to him. Like, that's the other guy right there. So I started looking around and seeing people in the movie, in the crowd, in this theater, which was beautiful. Here's a few pictures from that event. Sorry, I guess I'm talking about it more than I thought I would, but it was very exciting. Once in a lifetime experience for me. Life is about experiences, and we try to have as many as possible. And we had the opportunity to do something pretty cool, and had my name in the credits, my wife and my name's in the credits. And of course, I took a picture of it, and it's really blurry. Did not come out, but I tried. So we'll have to wait until it comes out on either streaming or whatever, and then the movie was much better than I thought it would be. I mean, I knew it was going to be a good movie. I've read the script, but this director, Kyle Hosman-Stokes, he did an awesome job with this movie. And the critical reviews show that, and very excited to see what happens next. Basically, they're going to try and sell the film, and I'll keep you guys updated on where we go from there. And that is it for my Texas trip. A couple pictures I included as well. And, of course, the haul from this week's Through the Mail Monday, 9 returns, so a bunch of cards to get in my little post-opening photo shot, and or photo shoot, if you will. And that's it, my friends. Thanks for watching. Wish all of you hopefully March is going well for you. Spring is, not spring, but it's getting warmer. We had a few warm days in a row. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, but we had a few good days. I got some yard work done. Very happy about it. Felt really good about it. So that's where we're at here in Salem, Oregon. Hope everyone is great where you're at. Thanks for watching. See ya.